What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritics.com. Listen, you guys know what time it is. It's time to talk about Bel-Air, Episode 5, live open spoiler discussion. And of course, I had to bring my homeboy out here, the only one that I know who opposes me when it comes to the discussion of this particular show, because sometimes we get along and then sometimes we don't get along when it comes to certain properties, certain shows that are out there. And I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the topic of the topic of discussion. So without further ado, I got to bring my man in. Mayhem Madness. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Yo, how are you feeling right now? I know we both just checked out. Well, I checked it out a little bit earlier than you, but then you got a chance to check out Bel-Air Episode 5, PA to LA. And it's time to talk about it, man. I'm excited to talk about this because I feel like there's so much to unpack about this particular episode, and it really shapes the tone of this series or this reimagining or this reboot. And I don't know, off rip, without giving out too much details, how did you feel after watching this particular episode, comparing it to 1 through 4?
I felt like this episode was the worst one of them all. Like it was just, it was the worst.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I'm right there with you, bro. Like, this was my least favorite from the ones that I've seen, because like I said, I've seen what comes next. I've already seen the episode right after this one, and I got to tell you, going into this one, and I've watched it multiple times just so I could, wrap my head around it, because I always like, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something in this episode that's deeper than what I'm seeing on the surface. And honestly, every single time I just got like really bored. Like, I felt like, coming off of episode 4, which had a very, very shocking ending. I'm sure you had the same expectations as I did. What did we get in episode 4? What's his name ended up getting killed. Rashad ended up getting killed.
Yeah. And Trey was coming back. Trey was coming out to Philly.
Yeah. Will had won the bet with Aunt Viv, so Trey was able to come through. Expectations were kind of low. I mean, were high, and then they were kind of dropped because we didn't get any Jeffrey in this episode.
Yeah, it was dropped significantly. It was dropped really, really low. Like, especially to leave you on that cliffhanger and then to go into the episode and not get anything. Like, not even a word or nothing. I was just like,
and I'm kind of like, I'm pretty sure that they probably didn't think that that Jeffrey was going to be such like a dope character. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, because they're not treating him like he's like the dopest character in the show, because like I said, we're halfway through. We're already past that. Well, we're at the halfway point. And I'm not gonna lie, it's mediocre. It's good. Like, I want to watch it, but I only want to watch because I'm familiar. And I feel like a lot of people are getting that. I don't know. I got to hear what people are saying. I want people to like chime in and talk to us, because I feel like the familiarity is what's keeping us coming back and what's keeping us locked in and watching it. So I want to talk about this episode. So like you said, Trey comes to Bel-Air off of a bet that Will wins with Aunt Viv for helping out Uncle Phil in his political run. And Trey comes in, and I was rooting for Trey. I was rooting for Trey when he got left back in Philly, because I thought he got the raw deal once Will bounced out. So having Trey come over, I was like, word, Will's gonna have his Philly buddy there. And this reminds me of a similar storyline that they did back in the original show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the one with Trey with it was
Ice Trey, right?
Ice Trey. It was what's his name?
Don Cheadle.
That was Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, I appreciate how they have, if I don't know if you noticed, but how much Trey hair looks like Don Cheadle. A young Don Cheadle. Looked exactly like him.
Yes.
Exactly.
I was thinking the same exact thing too, because honestly, I forgot about that episode. And I was talking with my boys. I was talking to my man Cash, and he brought it up to me, and I was like, "Yo, you're right." But we couldn't remember if it was we couldn't remember if it was Don Cheadle or someone else that played him. But then I did my research, I Googled it, and then yeah, sure enough, it was Don Cheadle. But yeah,
Yep.
that was a cool nod. I kind of appreciated that they, same thing with Lisa, but we just felt like Lisa's too soon in the game. But having Trey there and getting that real backstory that Will had when he was in Philly, bringing in that old friend, I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get a little bit of that. His introduction, he comes in, he's having a good time, and then we jump into a conversation with Aunt Viv and Will's mom, which kind of sets up where this rest of the show or season or series or wherever should go, where they're kind of going back and forth about whether or not Will should stay. And that to me was like one of the better parts of the episode. Too soon, but I thought it was probably one of the better parts of the episode. Like, they have a tendency of swaying back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
One minute the topics are dope and they're deep and they're emotional, and then it gets a little wacky, like this episode kind of got for me. Which brings me to the next thing was like the build up to Hillary's
party.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we get any indication that this was going to happen before it happened?
No.
There was really no build up to this, right?
No. It just all of a sudden we got the last episode was the one where we got that she was going to the house and then immediately jumped in that she's having a party.
Yeah, no, but wasn't it like she was like on Zooms and she was like interviewing and she kept like they alluded to her like getting turned down. It was like a montage. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like
that was. I think that was that 2 episodes ago. I think that was 3. Where she was. I think it was 3. I know what you're talking about. I remember what episode you're talking about.
I just felt like this scene like came out of nowhere. And like I said, guys, if we're wrong and we're off, please let us know down in the comments, because I just feel like that buildup of the dinner comes completely out of nowhere. Like, and then they're like, we didn't even know she got approved to be in the house. Like, we find out.
Well, she was in number 4. We did know that she was moving. They did say that she was moving to the house, and then with this one was number 5, right? So yeah, number 4, we did know that she was moving into the house, but like you said, the dinner came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, hey, I'm throwing a dinner.
Yeah, to meet them and stuff like that. Yeah, it was a little. It just felt a little just kind of crammed into the story, and then a lot of shit goes down at this party. Those wacky ass, the black ass boys, like that was that was a little
overboard.
It was just some of it was a lot. It was a lot corny. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, and then Trey gets drunk, which I kind of like that spin. How Trey comes in and he's just causing more trouble.
But no, hold on. Let's go back to where you just said Trey got drunk. How old are these dudes? They're in high school. Hold on, and hold on. This is what I was saying.
There's one more thing. Go ahead. I'm gonna follow you. Go ahead. There's one more thing.
High school.
Yeah.
You left Philly because it was a bad place. You over here and it was under the parents' supervision. You're getting drunk at a party.
How about the fact that like Will just be straight dropping all kinds of language in the house, like in front, like part of me was like, yo, these guys just say whatever they want around the adults. They drink, they do whatever they like.
Yeah.
And I had to catch myself, because a lot of times I'm just watching it and I'm just like, yeah, okay, this is the character, I get it. But then I'm like, wait a minute, he's like disrespecting like his aunt and uncle's house. Like, they just be cussing all over the house whenever they feel like it, and at each other at any time. And then you're right. I didn't even realize like Trey was drinking. Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that. Though, good catch.
He was like, it must have been the wine. And I'm like, when I see it, I'm like, hold on, how old is this kid?
Was he?
I'm like, I could have sworn they're both in high school.
Yeah, I thought he was drinking something else. I don't think he was drinking wine though.
They said wine. He was like the wine must have got to me.
Yeah. So anyhow, he spills the beans to Carlton, which these guys, talk about the drama, bro. Carlton took that shit to heart. He took that shit to heart.
And he should have. And I feel like why? Like it's too dramatic. Why are you taking your dad getting your cousin out of a beef? You're taking that to heart, and then like why?
I mean, listen. In his defense, I kind of get it. Like, he grew up. And his dad was, his influence. Like his dad was his hero. His dad always did right by, the law. And then everything that he felt that he learned just kind of got pulled up from under him like a rug. And now he's like, well, my dad's bending the rules. Like, I kind of get that. But
his dad used what he's doing to get a family member out of a situation. Any family member would have done that for another family member.
But there's a disconnect between Carlton and Will. Like they don't really vibe. They're not like they're family, but they're not like family. They're like family friends.
But in the other episode, they said that they were gonna cool. They said like, "Yo, we'll just be cool, and that'll be it." They said, "Let's just be cool while I'm here." What are you getting mad about? It's all over the place. This is all over the place.
Which brings me to my next topic, because it was like after he confronted Phil, Carlton was just right back on his shit, because he was pretty calm and quiet during the whole episode. If you watch that episode, this is barely, you get as much of Carlton as you get in of Jeffrey until that dinner.
Yeah,
and then from that moment on, he's just all back on his shit again. And then it cuts. This is where it gets weird, because it goes from that, and then it just cuts to the other thing where Will and Trey. It's like Carlton has his moment with his dad, confronts his dad, and then we cut to Will and Trey at the D Smoke concert. Shout out to D Smoke too, by the way. That was a pretty dope cameo. How you felt about that cameo? Was it a little random, or was it?
I had no idea who D Smoke is.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. I'm not. No idea.
All right, so
I was like, all right, cool.
For those of you living under a rock, like my man Mayhem, I'm gonna give you a brief little intro of who D Smoke is. So there was a little show on Netflix before T.I. got into his weirdo controversy called The Rap Game, which was T.I., Cardi B, and Chance the Rapper. It was kind of like American Idol, but it was for rap. And it was pretty dope, because there was some really dope dudes on there. And there's also a dude from Rhode Island on there who's he was the dopest dude on there next to D Smoke. The only thing that D Smoke had over him was the fact that D Smoke could rap, sing, and he could play the piano. But he saved it for the end to drop that on people. Nobody expected him to do it. So in the finale, he comes on, plays on the piano. And it was a rap from there. They knew who they were going to give it to. But D Smoke was the winner of the Rap Game. Which
I remember that show.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Trust me, coming from rap, you'll appreciate it, because it ain't no corny rap contest. It's dope. Like real skill. You need real skills to be on that show. And so D Smoke was the winner on there. So seeing him on this thing was kind of cool, because it was like, oh damn, like he won on the show, and then he's still getting shine. That was kind of dope. So enough about D Smoke. During this concert, well, it actually cuts to another scene after the concert, because it just keeps cutting. It keeps going from one issue to another issue to another issue. So after the D Smoke introduction, we see Viv entertaining the idea about getting back into art. Which you told me before you weren't feeling that, because she was a dancer before. Was it you that told me? That's somebody else. She was a dancer on the original show.
Yeah,
and then they turned into an artist on this one. Let's talk about creepy ass Michael Ealy.
Yeah, he was a little weird.
Bro, I don't know if they was like trying to portray this man as sexy, but this motherfucker was so creepy.
Completely creepy.
Dog, it's vividing. It's riveting. Like, bro, he's like breathing in her face. Like, I'm like, are you into the art? Are you into Viv? Like, I can't tell whether this man is trying to like smash Aunt Viv or if he really is a fan of her art. Like he is just like over the top on some creepy shit. And I'm like, what? Of all people, light-eyed, light-skinned Michael Healy.
Yeah, brought him in. I'm there. When I seen that, I'm like, yeah, it was kind of just weird. It was a weird moment too.
Well, just trust me, bro. It ain't the last that you're gonna see him. But it was
Oh
very
my god, I feel bad.
it was yeah, I don't understand. It's just I don't the we'll get into in the overall at the end, like how I really feel about this. But after that, we go into some political story with Phil. He's bumping heads with the police department because of his statements that he made in the last episode about defunding
Defrauded the
police.
police.
Yeah, it was defunding the police. He was playing too far to the left, as his political advisor is going to tell him at the end. And then it jump cuts again to another issue,
Yep.
and then this one is with none other than little Hillary. I mean, little Ashley. Ashley basically comes out to Hillary. 12-year-old little Ashley. Just openly just comes out to Hillary with no issue whatsoever. And I know how you feel, but I gotta hear it, bro. Like what I have my ideas of what I wish would have happened, but I wanna know what you think about them turning an iconic character or a legacy character into you know what I
I
mean?
think that it's just like, first off, everybody has a problem in this show. Everybody has a problem. There's not a moment that we can sit back and just like be like, all right, let's get two problems and let's work on that and see how that overall happens. Everybody has an issue. Then to bring Ashley in and have her come out to her to Hillary was just kind of like, okay, I see what they're doing, but it didn't need it. It really it was unnecessary. It didn't really need to be addressed. At least not right now.
Yeah.
Like right now, right how I feel. Will was better off staying in Philly because this family got more problems than they got way more problems than he had in Philly. Like he should just pack his bags and be like, "Yo, listen, I'm going back to home. I'm going back home. You guys got to work out your stuff, and then when you guys is good, I'll come back out." But like everybody has a problem. There's a dilemma everywhere you look in this family.
But it's like it's not even like a big like there's subtle problems. They're not even like real life problems. Like Hillary wanting to move out on her own and Carlton being jealous of his cousin over his ex-girlfriend and baby Ashley coming. Like these are not even like major life like Will was running from a gun, bro.
He was
Like
running from death. He was about to be put in a box. Like why? Like he had real problems.
In this Sonny Jack Napier, he makes a point, right? Let's put up what he says, right? He says, to be honest, Carlton is acting wild. Like he is acting wild. Like, bro, literally when he started acting up again, I was like, yo, Carlton's on his shit again. Carlton's on his shit. Like, what the fuck? Like he was quiet all episode, and then he comes in, and then he makes Will this ultimatum. He's like, yo, stay the fuck away from Lisa. Like, bro, she don't even want you.
That's not your girl anymore.
Like, she's not your girl, B.
Like it's not yours anymore.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, he is wilding though. You're right. And shout out to Sonny Jack Napier because we got the same last name. Shout out. Yeah, that's my real last name, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know Napier. But yeah, the little Ashley thing. I really think that, and I don't know if you knew this because I wanted to say this before. But when this show got picked up, it got picked up for 2 seasons off rip. You know that, right?
No, I do now.
So when they signed, they signed off the pitch, just from the pitch. And Will stressed this. He was like, it's never been done before. They got signed for 2 seasons, 2 full seasons off rip. So I kind of feel like everything is being crammed into 2 seasons because they don't know how long this thing is going to last. Because they got signed for 2 seasons, they're writing it as though they only have 2 seasons to work with. And I feel like that's really hindering a lot of the story because the stuff with Ashley, I don't have a problem with her being the only gay character or the gay character in this generation's version. I just feel like they should have fleshed it out and let us get there instead of
like
just
we could have got
like,
there by season 2.
yeah, like I would have been okay with that. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in this that I think we could have waited for. Like, I don't even think Will should be. I mean, we'll get into that. Let's finish this real quick because after after the Hillary and Ashley situation where they're talking and she's encouraging her to be her, we cut to the part where Will and Trey have their actual falling out after the concert because I already had beef at the concert. And then it kind of rolls over to when they're back at the house. And I need to know, bro, how did you feel about this overall argument? Because I really felt like Trey was being a bitch. Like he was acting like he was Will's girlfriend, bro. Like
it was. I felt like it was a girlfriend, but for both of them, it kind of was. I felt that. Like, yeah, Trey was being a little more, but Will too. It's like, first off, why do you need yeah, he's your friend, but why do you need to explain so deeply why you want to better yourself? Like he should know. He already off a rip. He should already know that. Like, I want something better, and it just seemed like you're right. It's something like it felt like a relationship.
It definitely felt like a relationship, bro. It was really, really. It was cool. I get it. You care for your homies, like you care, but it was like he wasn't saying that. He was making it more about. He was making it more about himself. But to be fair, Trey did take a bullet. But if it was about feeling like he was what should I say, like
leaving him behind,
well, yeah, left behind or scared, I think maybe that should have been I don't know, I felt like he lashed out. I couldn't be in that position. Like, I've never felt like that or ever felt that close to like a homeboy where I would I would feel like I need to rash on him because he wanted to better himself. But I don't know. Let's see what my man Colt is saying right now. He's saying he saw where Trey was coming from. He tried to stop Will from playing Darnell. Had people in the hood looking for him and got shot while Will was safe in luxury. I feel that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that portion of it. It feels like Will kind of left him behind, but in Will's defense, he honestly didn't even have a choice. Like, he woke up and mom's already had the bags packed and was like, yo, you're going. Like, brought him straight to the airport. He didn't even have a second to make a phone call before he landed in Bel-Air. You know what I mean? And he's saying leading him on all day too. Do you feel like he was leading him on all day?
What do you mean? Leading him on what?
Do you feel like Will was hiding his real feel, like what he wanted to say? Or do you feel like Will was just kind of just waiting for the right time because he didn't know? I don't think Will.
I don't feel like he was leading them on at all because it was more Trey coming out saying like, oh, so listen, you're coming back since what's his name? Was it Rashad? What was his name that died? The guy looking for him? Rashad. He was like, oh, so Rashad's dead, you're coming back. He didn't even give him the chance to even say what he was doing. Trey already had it in his head that he was leaving once the Rashad situation was already taken care of. So cool, he's coming back home.
Yeah, I feel like. Go ahead.
I felt more like Trey was just pushing him to come back. But on the other hand, how Colt just said, if you're looking at it like someone like he had beef left, and pretty much it's on his hands. So I can definitely see where he's talking about, like, Trey inherited his beef and Will left and living in the lap of luxury. So yeah, I can definitely see it like that too.
Yeah, and my man Notorious 809, shout out to Miggy Miggs. He's saying, bro, they're young. Trey don't know how jealous he was. I I don't know, man. I feel like they both didn't know what they really wanted at that point. Like I feel like Will wasn't sure he wanted to stay until the falling out. Because remember, he did ask Hillary. He's like, "What if I don't want to stay no more?" You know what I mean? And so he was feeling it out. And I think the falling, just by the way, I feel like the way that Trey responded, he kind of pushed Will away. Like Will was like, you know what, fuck that. I don't need to go home. What am I go home to? I'm hanging around people that don't want me to be better. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel Will on that. Like, I don't want to be around people that don't want me to be better. I'm not gonna go back to Philly to do the same old shit I was doing that got me in trouble in the first place. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of negative shit waiting for Will back in Philly.
If you think about Will wasn't doing that bad. He wasn't in the streets. He wasn't out there selling. He had college recruits looking at him. So he really wasn't doing that bad.
Yeah, but he was mingling and mixing with the wrong crowd, bro. Like even though he was on a straight narrow path, he never shied away from being in the mix of the people he knew he shouldn't be around. Like, bro, he went to that basketball court just like Trey told him. Like Trey told him to his face, like, bro, we weren't even supposed to be there. We were only there because of you, because of your ego. You know what I mean?
One little mistake he did. It's not really. Come on.
I don't know
if I'd say he was on the. I don't know if I'd say he was on the wrong path, but he got himself into some shit.
It's a slippery slope, bro. It's a slippery slope. Like you got to understand. Like a lot of people who come from territories like that. Yeah, they can be talented. They can have all the right tools. They can have the right mindset, but their surrounding can hinder their progress.
But it didn't. Remember, he was asking them to sell for him. He still never did. He didn't. The only thing he got him into was a basketball game.
Yeah, but bro, he went there and made a bet with this man, saying that if they lose, he would work for him. If that's not setting yourself up for failure, what if they cheated? What if they cheated in things? I know we could talk about what if scenarios all night, but what if he cheated and he ended up losing and then ended up being stuck selling for Rashad? Like although he has a head on his shoulders, but being in that environment is not safe for him or anyone for that matter. Because like I said, you can have the right mindset and have all the tools, but if your surroundings are influential in negative ways, it can be easy for you to stray. Not saying everybody would, but it could be easier for you to stray than say someone who had his same talents and was living like Carlton. You know what I mean? So
I hear you. We never got like, okay, yeah, I can hear you.
You know what I mean? Like I just look at it like that. But enough with the Trey and Will for a little bit. Let's talk about the next situation, which was Viv. This is another thing that I think could have waited. Viv and Hillary. Like, we got 4 episodes of Aunt Viv giving Hillary the business about her career and her life and what she should do. And then out of the blue, after she's met all her rich influencer friends, she's like, I'm sorry, and I believe in you, and I like,
because that money talks. She's like, all right, she's gonna be good. She don't gotta worry about her. All these people they're rolling in money, which she's all right. She's good.
I liked it. No, I didn't like that. I was just like, why is this happening now? There's just a lot of things that
it's too much too soon.
And then after that, we get the final scene in the entire show where we build up. Yeah, put yourself in Will's shoes. That's what my man Migs was saying. Like I totally agree. Like put yourself in all these people's shoes. Like there are some cool dilemmas and moral, judgment errors going on in this thing, but then some of the stuff is just wow. And then with Will deciding to stay in Bel-Air, I'm all for that. I just wish it would have happened maybe season 2 or maybe
season 3. Why are we deciding that he's going to stay when he already just got there?
It's just like so much happening right now.
It's like he came for a weekend and like not that he came for a weekend. It's like everything's like you're saying, everything's getting pushed on him. Like how long? Like honestly, how long has he been here that we're already saying like, oh, he's gonna stay up here? Like it's just it's too soon. And like you said, maybe it's because they got hired for the 2 seasons and they want to get everything out. But it's just I think it's just a bad way to go about it. It's way too many dilemmas. Everything's dramatic. There's a dramatic at every like we're not even going and addressing the Rashad situation. We're jumping into another problem.
We've lost.
Like it's all over the place.
I'm gonna give you my final thought on this before we head out because this is not gonna be a long one, and I want to know if you agree. So within 5 to 6, because I've seen 6, within 5 to 6 episodes, we've gotten Will's arrival. Well, Will's dilemma, which made his arrival, his falling out. Well, not falling out, but his struggle in school, his rise in school. His biggest antagonist in the entire series is gone and dead. He lost his best friend, and then he decides to stay in Philly. That's 7 main plots that could have been,
and that's just with Will
dragged. Like that's 7 plot points that could have been dragged. Like, how about this from season 1?
No, you're forgetting one. Will and what's it called? You're forgetting Lisa. Will and Lisa. Then Will and Lisa's dad.
Yeah. I think that for me, it would have been cooler if season 1 was Will's entire struggle in Bel-Air. I don't want to see Will be comfortable yet. He's too comfortable already. We're only 5 episodes in, and he's already comfortable. Mm-hmm. Maybe him winning that basketball game from episode 3 maybe should have happened in episode 10. Mm-hmm. That way, it's a cliffhanger to go into season 2. Like he's already, unless and I could be talking on the line because, like I said, I still have 2 more episodes to watch that I have, and maybe there's still some tug of war at school. Maybe he's not just going to fit right in off of that basketball game. I could be speaking out of line, but from what we see so far, he's already hopped an obstacle. He's already gotten place. He's already, fitting in sort of at school. Lisa wants him already. And the only antagonist that he has left is Carlton. I don't want to give away too because I know some things, but I'm not going to say that. But Carlton is like the biggest. I don't know, man. I just feel like,
and I know, like Carlton's villain. It's how I look at like. There was a lot like the Carlton and him thing. I feel shouldn't be so. It shouldn't be so deep. Like it's like their hatred for each other. Like these dudes, like Carlton, like hates him, and it's really. I don't think it really should be that serious.
Check out what Colton's saying, bro. He hit the nail on the head, like literally. I don't know if they already filmed season 2, but the stories are gonna run dry soon, and they're gonna have to get creative. Exactly. Like, bro, they're relying too much on what we know already. They're relying on the familiar to keep us coming back. That's why I tell y'all, I keep coming back, not because I think the show is the greatest. I enjoy the show. I think it's good enough to click play and see what happens. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for the familiarity or the beats that I'm familiar with, so I could be like, they did that spin on that, or they did that. Like, that's the only reason I come back. I wanted to see this because I knew what it already was. It's a familiar property, and I wanted to see what they were going to do with it. So they have been heavily relying on the nostalgia and the storylines that we already know. Don't be surprised, guys, if Will's dad shows up in the
season finale.
Don't be surprised. The last one,
his dad comes in.
We may get that episode. You know what I mean? How come you don't want me?
Right?
We might get that sooner than we want to, but overall, guys, I mean,
Lou? Wasn't that his name? We get Lou.
Yeah, Lou.
Lou coming in.
Ben. I forget what his real name. Ben Avery. Is that his name? Ben Avery. I just know he was Webster's uncle.
Okay. Yes. Was it Ben Avery?
Yeah, I think it was Ben Avery. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, how you feeling about this overall? I know you're gonna keep watching it because you better watch it with me because we gotta keep having these discussions. I love talking about this. But are you eager to go back? I should say, are you eager?
No.
I can promise you this. Ben Vereen. There's his name. Ben Vereen. Thanks, Cole. Good looks.
I'm not eager. I'm gonna go back and watch it. But I'm gonna watch it more now because I just want to see where it's going. I want to see if they're gonna ever say anything about Rashad.
I can promise you
Jeffrey.
I can promise you this. 6 is a lot better. 6 is a very redeemable episode. And I can't wait to talk about it with you guys next week. But I enjoyed 6 a lot. And I just got blessed with 7 and 8, guys. I'm about to watch all of these. Every Thursday, guys, right here, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a live discussion about Peacock's new dramatic take on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So make sure you guys just tune in with us every week. And then I do a non-spoiler chat about the episode the day before. So that Wednesday morning, you'll see my review, non-spoiler, just kind of give you a gist of what to expect. And then the following night, Thursday nights, 9:15 p.m., you can catch me and my man Mayhem Madness just going in and breaking down this episode piece by piece. I mean, overall, this was my least favorite episode, guys, of the bunch that I've seen. But I'm planning to stick around and what's the words I'm looking for? Ride this thing out. I'm gonna ride this thing out for you guys and for my own peace of mind because I want to know where they're going with this storyline. Mayhem, you got any last words you want to say to the people before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not eager to watch it, but I'm gonna do it. I want to see where it goes. This was the worst episode that I've watched.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it really was. And my man Cole said it right. He was like, yo, they killed Rashad way too quickly. I felt the same way. I'm like, yo, listen, I was hoping I was going to ride out to the end of the series, bro, like the end of the season.
I was hoping like he was at least going to come find him or something. I was hoping there was another dilemma or something between him. They just killed him off, and it just felt like a cheap way out.
Yeah, I don't like that, man. I didn't like that at all. At first, I thought Trey was playing him. I was like, maybe they're gonna do like some devious plot twist where Trey was just trying to get him to come back, and he really didn't die. I don't know. Like that's what I was hoping on. But no, they didn't get that. They didn't get that dark. They didn't get that dark at all. But yeah. But again, guys, I appreciate every one of you sticking with us, riding it out with us live on my channel, Klepcx FM. Shout out to my man Mayhem Madness. Where can they find you, boy?
You guys can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. Find me on TikTok. You can find me on all social medias at Mayhem Madness.
Yes, sir. And shout out to my man Miggy Miggs, Notorious 808. Colt, I see you. Thank you for chiming in, brother. You have some great insight. We're on the same wavelength. I feel you. Guys, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, please, because we're really trying to grow this thing. We really want to talk about the hottest TV shows and movies and things of that nature with all of you. Again, I appreciate you all. Check out wearecritics.com for more movie news, television news, and pop culture. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.